Hello everyone. First of all, I would like to apologize to everyone due to some technical issue with our system. We were not able to complete the sessions throughout the YouTube live, but we did continue in whereby. But for all of you, I am just recording all these sessions where whatever things that we have covered in today's morning sessions, I am recording a video for you, so you guys can check all these points of the basics and. That will help you to understand the next thing that we are going to cover in our second day sessions. So let me take you through the things that we have already seen in the morning, but this is a recorded video that will be helpful to all of you wherever you want to see some important notes that you need to take care when you start the module. Alright, so let me take you to the course content first. Okay, so the very first thing is, what is Odoo? Alright, so Odoo is a platform or framework, we can say, that provides a number of ready-made applications that can be used to different business verticals. Like any business vertical, those are in different sectors called manufacturing, warehouse, accounting. Those who want to use the POS, sales, website, whatever business they want to utilize their uh, business, or they want to capture their data, want to do some transactions with the clients, want to record invoices, customer details, sending in notifications to client. Everything can be managed through Odoo with the standard applications of Odoo. Okay, and this in Odoo there are two flavors. One is community and enterprise. Community is totally open source and can be customized to whatever the requirements of client. Based on that, and it is fully customizable with any module, and you can also develop your own custom module with complete scratch. Okay, and with enterprise is also you can customize with Odoo SH or on-premises version, but Odoo Online has a very limitations of customization. But if you go with Odoo SH and enterprise versions, you need to buy the licensing per user per application, and for that you can go to Odoo website and see the pricing detail for the enterprise. There are different prices for each module, and it is chargeable. Okay, so here our training is totally based on community version, so I will not take much time to explain about enterprise. We can either cover in next training or next video, or I will provide you some sources where you can learn these things, what are the enterprise things and how it works. Alright, so what we have seen is, in Odoo applications, that we have seen in the first session the structure of module and the importance of each file. So let's go back to the editor first, that we created the module to the morning. Okay, so there are three files we created, and we started with init and manifest file. The init and manifest file is the key file of the module. Without init and manifest file, you cannot load the module. If you make some mistakes inside this file, if these files are not correctly defined with the proper values, your module will not load it into the system. Okay, and first of all we will go with the manifest file. In the manifest file, you need to put the data in the dictionary format. So if you know the Python basic, you must know what is the dictionary. It contains the value in a key and value format. So all the informations of module, like who developed the module, who is the author, what is the summary of module, what is the version, website detail, the dependency, this module depends on which module of existing module, or you can put any custom module as a depends. and data. You can load all your first demo data file and the XML file into the data parameter. And to for these two parameters, we have seen the importance what is auto install and applications. If we set auto install equals to true, it means when you create a database and you are loading this module in the path, this module will auto install. Or whenever this module will be loaded after creation of database, it will auto install. And then application equal to true. If you say your module is application equal to true, then under the applications list, let me show you in the application list here that we already checked it. We'll go to applications. If we say our applications module is applications to true, then it will be filtered under these modules. So by default with Odoo standard there are 63 applications, but as we have already loaded our module into this database, so we have 64 applications. So under apps our module will be filtered. Okay. And if I remove this filter, then there are more than 300 or 400 plus add-ons. So if you create your module, if you are enhancing some existing module feature, so that is called actually extension. So we can't set that module is an application. Okay. If you are developing something new feature or the feature that is completely different than the existing modules, so you can say your module is an application. In our case, we are defining complete training module where we can manage all the training informations of users, registrations, faculties, what are the topics that are going to be covered. So that is complete a new package, a module package. So we can call it as an application. So in our case, we have set this module as an application to true. So I will take you to the editor. So here that's why we have given our module as an application equal to true. Okay. And then under init file we have called the models folder. So in the init file you need to call all your py files where you have defined all your classes. Even if you do not have any py file into your module, in some cases that we are going to see in our upcoming sessions, that how we can inherit or extend the views of existing module. In that case you might not override any class file or you do not add any py file, but still we need a init file into our module, which is the key part. And this init file we can call it as a constructor of the module. So if it initialized then and then, your module will be initialized or listed in the application list. And the very important thing, when we load our new module into the system, I will take you to the browser first again. Whenever we add our module, it might not appear in the module list, so you need to update app list to make your module appear into your screen. And in initial case, when you log in into the system, you might not activate it with the debug mode. So make sure you are activated your debug mode, then and then you will be able to see these menus where you can click on update menus and it will load the new modules that you created. Okay, so I will show you how you can activate debug mode. Go to settings, and here you can see there is an link of developer tool. You can click here, active developer mode with assets, active developer mode with test assets, and deactivate developer mode. This will appear when you have already activated your debug mode. If I deactivate, then this debug sign will disappear and there will be limited access of few menus. So if I go apps, under apps, so I can't see the update apps list. So whenever you see that there is no menu appear, you need to activate developer mode. Go to setting, click on activate developer. Okay, or there is a short way. You can just go to web browser, after web question mark debug equals to 1. If you set this value, your debug mode will auto activate it. So now you can see here the debug mode is activated, and that menu of deactivated mode is again appears. Okay, so this is how you can activate your debug mode, and it will enhance the accessibility of technical menus to you. Okay, and then let's go back to the editor again. So here in the initial level, what we have done is we created one class file where we defined some basics field with the character type, that is name, email, phone number and date of birth. And whenever you define your new class, we must need to import these fields and model. From the fields class, we will use to define a different data types fields, and the models that we are passing into our class as an value, and this will link our class to the Odoo structure, and this will create a table into the Postgres. So we must need to pass this parameter models.model, and models.model will make the persistence or the existence of our this model into the database with the name training underscore registrations. Okay, we will see how we can create a table with our own name, but by default whenever we give any model name, if we do not provide the table name, then it will auto give the name to model name as a table name, and all the dot will be replaced with the underscore. Okay, so in the next session we will see how the tables are automatically created with which name, and how we can create our own table with different name other than class name. Okay, and in the views file we have seen the basic view where we define all these 4 fields. One is the form view. In the form view, what are the important parameter? Name and model. The model, where for which model we are going to define the views. So in our case our model name is training.registration. Okay, and here form is identified with the form tag, and the tree is identified with the tree tag. And whenever you define any views, the important things you need to take care, the ID must be unique and with a standard variable. It's like it should be related with your class name or model name, so it will look more effective. And you need to pass the IR UI view as a model. So whatever views we are going to define into our module are being captured in the IR UI view table, which is Odoo standard table that is capturing all the views into this table. And for the action, the model name is being changed with ir.actions.act_window. And for action is also the same thing. You need to have a unique ID of your action, and we need to pass this action is linked with which model. Only the key parameter is changed. In the view it is model, and in the action it is RES model. And with the view mode you can define which views you want to load with these actions. In some cases you might have many views for this model, but you want to load few views, a different list of views in one action and different list of view in other actions. We might have a possibility that we can create a multiple view with the same model or the same table for some different access right or some different screen. You call more than one actions of the same screen, and you want to load a different list of views in a different menus. In that case this view mode will be helpful, but for now we have just tree and form view, so we just give the name of tree and form. And here we have defined 2 menus. One is the menu item, that is Jupical training, which is the main menu, and there is no parent and no actions. And the sub menu, we have given the unique ID of sub menu training registration. We given the main menu's ID, that is main training menu, as a parent ID, and the label of this menu as a registration. And the action is action training registration, which is this action ID. So this action will appear, and whenever this menu will be clicked, this action will be triggered, and this action will look for the model or the table which is defined with this name. So we have this view. But when this action will trigger, which view will be loaded first, it is defined based on this sequence. So first of all, tree view will be loaded, and then second is the form view. Okay, so this would be the sequence. And in our next section, we are going to see all the other basic field. We will enhance our form view, tree view, and we will define the search view. Right now we have not defined any search view, but still we can. Odoo provides a default search view. Let me take you to the browser first. By default, Odoo loads the search view. You can see the search bar here, but you would be only able to search with the name value only. So for example, if I write something, it will look for only name field. So name is there already. If I write something, if I write mark, there is no value with the mark, and there are no filter or no group by. So in the next section with the search view, we will see how we can define our own group by filters, and we'll add some more fields, and we will enhance the view layout of form and the tree. Okay, so this is it for now. For today's session, in the very first day section, we have just covered only these things, and I'm going to create a GitHub repository for all this code that we are going to cover in our training. So you all guys will have this access of the code, and you can test in your system as well. And that's it. So thank you very much for being patient, and for your support. Hopefully we will have a good session and fruitful session on the next days, and we will try to cover as much as possible with a good example, and more effective examples that can help you to understand the real world applications, and how you can start with the modules, and what are the key things you need to take care. Alright, so this is it for now, and see you in the next session. Thank you very much. Thank you, and bye bye. Good night.